Hey guys, it's another one of those this is what happened but you weren't here so you missed it. Today's the day we talk about The Apprentice. Alright, so last time on The Apprentice, Alex was fired because he wasn't a loudmouth basically. And you gotta be a loudmouth, unfortunately, to be a decent salesman. So there's a little fallout on the women's team from Lisa because she didn't like being called out last week. And Poppy gets to meet with Jack Welch. She gets a 2-year scholarship to an online university to get her master's degree. Big deal. All right, so the task this week is running a hotel and spa for dogs. I love this task because I am a dog lover. Cesar Millan is also one of the guest judges. Insane. I love Cesar. All right, so James steps up as the PM and Tiana steps up as the PM. And thank you, Louie, for giving me the correct pronunciation for Tiana. All right, the men, well, let me just say, Tiana, she was also Ms. Cougar, California. I knew you were wondering. And she's also a jealous cow, according to Masa. So James on the men's team decides that their big bell and whistle is going to be webcams, 3 webcams for the doggy day spa. You know what? That is so 5 minutes ago because, like, we live outside of New York City and our kennel has webcams. So I can imagine, like, that is standard in Manhattan. James starts off his team meeting by apologizing to the team. You don't do that when you're the leader. You have to command respect. You don't come in there and apologize. And David, right off the bat, he started acting like a flippin' a-hole. You know what, David? You will never get hemorrhoids because you're a perfect a-hole. The ladies, also, Masa, she is never going to get hemorrhoids. She is a freaking pit bull. All right, so James started off by insulting the owner. The owner was like, all right, I'm going to show you some stuff now. And James was like, not now. Bad move. Very bad move. Considering that the owner was also one of the judges. All right, so Masa is afraid of dogs, which I find ridiculous because she is a pit bull. And she made a big play for I should have been the receptionist in the front. Well, first of all, Tiana, wasn't she the receptionist in the office challenge? I think she just likes to be in the spotlight because she's a little attention whore. And Masa, she wants to be in the front. And I could see where she might be afraid of dogs, though, because, well, I'll get to that later. All right, so on the men's team, they were going to build this big old red carpet for the dogs to arrive and everything. Owners don't want that, but whatever. So they forgot nails at the store. And David is digging around in everyone's bags looking for something that he can make into nails. He was going to waste all day trying to make nails out of binder clips. James is freaking out. Why don't you just go back to the store, which is like probably a couple blocks away, and get a box of nails, for crying out loud. So Lisa worked all day on the banners and the A-frame to put outside of the doggy daycare. And the printer phones back 15 minutes before the deadline and is like, we can't open your file. So everybody's freaking out how much Lisa sucks. You know what? She does not suck. Even though I don't think she's a leader or right for the job of the apprentice, you shouldn't have been ragging on her because of this. Because, you know what? It could have been the other guy's computer that was having a problem opening up the file. And I've been there, done that. So, shouldn't have been ragging on her for that. Cesar Millan arrives. And the ladies, they had their puppy report card. I thought it was so cool. They had the picture on one side. And it was just like daycare, like, you know, he made a poopy, he made a friend, he ate, he went for walkies. That's what puppy parents want to know. And Masa learns an important lesson. You don't touch a dog when he's eating. You don't get all up in his grill because you know what? You're going to get bitten. And that's probably why you're afraid of dogs, because you don't respect the dog's boundaries. All right, so the men, Flash has got an itch. They had webcams. Yeah, Cesar thought that was pretty cool. But again, I think it's pretty standard. And he noticed that there was too many leaders in the pack. I think that's just because of lack of James' communication. He couldn't communicate what the hell was going on, so other people were uncomfortable and they had to step in and say, shut up, this is, because they wanted to win. They didn't want the task getting killed on, you can't explain the hell what's going on. So it's time for the boardroom. All right, this is pretty simple. Dave said James sucks. James got called out for blowing off the owner. Tiana got called out for not putting Masa at the front desk because she was afraid of dogs. And she was a good receptionist, maybe. And Lisa got called out again as the worst, which I don't think she should have, but whatever. But she did call Poppy a bitch, and that wasn't cool. But maybe Poppy was a bitch. So Cesar and the judges totally like the ladies' digs better than the men's, so the ladies win. And Tiana gets to hang out with Russell Simmons as a reward. I'd like to see how that works out. And I guess I will next week. But the men, for their boardroom, as being the losers, David was totally undermining James from the beginning. That was obvious. The guy's a total jerk. No one respects James as a leader, though, because he's really wishy-washy. He should be like James Stewart, like, I don't know what I'm saying, so I'll just make noises. But David was an a-hole. That's true. So James decides to bring back David and Wade. You know what? I don't think there was any reason to bring back Wade. He probably just told Trump, I'm only bringing back David because he's a jerk. Everybody else on the team was okay. I think he was really grabbing at straws with Wade. There was no reason. So we find out that James has a really good education. He went to Duke. He went to Georgetown Law School. David, he's pretty much an a-hole. He's an a-hole salesman. I've bought stuff from salesmen like him a couple of times, and I have to say, I don't dig that. It's abrasive. It's deceptive. I can see the type of person he is. But unfortunately, the Trumps got no recourse but to fire James. I'm sorry. Work, mouth, work. All right, so that is so sucky. But they give the update for James, and he's now working at the New York Attorney General's office. That's where he should be. I mean, he is a lawyer. That's what he's trained to do. He's not trained to be some type of entrepreneur. He's a lawyer. So he's in the right spot. So that was a good one, Trump. So next week, it's the same old rivalries. It's Masa versus Tiana. I have a feeling one of them is going to be gone next week. So we'll have to tune in and find out. So till next week when we talk about The Apprentice, much love.